Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I have a bit of a different video, but still relevant. So many of you know that I studied art in college, and so I love drawing, and recently got into illustrating coloring pages, and I was able to complete a sketchbook. So this is kind of a sketchbook flip through tour, but it's all loose leaf because I take it out of the sketchbook to scan. Most of these are available on Etsy, so excuse me, I will put the link to my Amazon store because some are actual coloring books, and then also put a link to Etsy. And these are in no particular order either. So this is the first one. This was a fun concept to do because usually it's, you know, the butterfly or the bird stuck in the cage. But this is reverse. The excuse me. The flower's in the cage and the butterfly is free. And you see this little tiny bird that is choosing to be in the bird cage. Here we have who I call Monsieur Snail. Excuse me. Whew. I just think this turned out really cute. He's just like pulling this wagon of flowers, and he's got a nice mustache, very dapper with a tie. Here is a fairy mushroom house with another little bird and a snail pet with his own little mushroom house. And these are all in a coloring book. Here we have Myrtle the Turtle, and it's this kind of play on how the turtle's shell is a home, and there's a little house on top of his shell, or her shell. Myrtle was a girl name. So yeah, on top of her shell. And then just this foliage in the background. That was fun. Here we have Miss Fairy walking her pet snail. So this could be the same pet snail that was in the other picture, or it could be a different one. And she's very fashionable. This one, I love this picture so much. Just because it's this sweet little fairy, just looking out in the distance, pondering life, I guess. So yeah, that one was really fun to do. I also really like this one. It's like this fun border, and then so it's kind of like a frame, picture frame, and this girl with her pet snail. Here we have a nice cactus succulent, which actually looks a lot like a cactus I recently added to my plants. So that's funny. Here we have a dandelion with all these ladybugs. There's the ladybug riding the dandelion. Yeah. Here's a nice floral bonsai. Okay, so this sorry. The idea from this one came, I was working on this book, the illustrations for it, and went to Island Park in Idaho, and there was this place that had a canoe and it had flowers planted in it, and I thought that was a really fun idea. So I incorporated my own flowers and own kind of design. That was a lot of fun. Here is a pumpkin house with little tulips. You'll notice I love drawing tulips. There's a lot of tulips. Here's another ladybug. These leaves are really fun to draw. And then the tiny details, the bed and the shoes. Okay, this one was a really fun it was one of those ideas that I got in, like right before falling asleep or right as you're waking up. One of those kinds of ideas. I wanted to have all these different sized birdhouses and different birds. Here is an apple tree in a heart, which I thought was really fun to design inside of that space. And this is really something funny, but for some reason, ever since, in high school, I always go to Apples for content. And I realized the other day that all of the coloring books that I've put out, except for the alphabet one, have an apple in it. So it's kind of like how Johanna Basford always has a skull. I always have apples. And I don't think about it. It's just something I naturally draw. This one was really fun to do. Again, with that trim. And then these lines of birdhouses across the mushrooms. It kind of reminds me of something that would be cross-stitched. Here's just a little log house. For some reason, it reminds me of a mobile home / cottage. And have this nice big flower. Oh man, this one. I really like this picture, and I have a colored version of it, but I forgot to grab it. Yeah, I just think it's really simple but really fun. It's kind of like Thumbelina's little house. And here's a fairy sleeping in a ring of mushrooms, and there's a lot of what's the word? Superstition around mushroom rings. So I couldn't have a fairy themed coloring book without a circle of mushrooms. This is really another one of my favorite drawings that I've done. I love the vines and this wood. I love drawing wood, so that's why you see wood a lot. This one I really like because I do pottery, so this was a way to incorporate that into my two-dimensional art. And my favorite little detail is over here. The lid has become this little canopy to drink your summer lemonade. Oh, I love this picture. So I wanted to have all different kinds of birdhouses, kind of back with that same birdhouse theme. I was in a birdhouse mood for a while, so that's why you have seen so many birdhouses. Yeah, I really like this one. Here we have a picture that is inspired by, there was an old lady who lived in a shoe. And there's these little bells on the plant. This is one that's kind of inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe. And also, my mom had this centerpiece that was desert themed, and it had like these kind of flowers and the desert grass. It's really long. So this is kind of a desert inspired picture. Here we have another birdhouse. I love how the wood turned out on this one. Yeah, wood is one of my favorite things to draw. Here is a fairy, or a little, not really an imp, because imps are naughty, but like a sprite, that's the word, that's hiding, is collecting something, and yeah. Okay, so that was in one coloring book. Here's some ones that are not really attached to anything. I loved drawing houses in a row when I was younger, so I wanted to replicate that after becoming a better at drawing. So that was really fun to do. And then we have this cute bear and this super patched up hot air balloon. It makes me nervous. What if one of those patches comes loose? Here we have Rapunzel's tower and a magic little scene on a pillow. So it's like Beauty and the Beast and Rapunzel. Ooh. Here we have the bear sleeping on the moon with his little teddy and a shooting star. And this one I think is cute. It's not my favorite that I've done, but I really like all the elements that I did, like how it's very stylized. And a lot of times, when I'm drawing freehand, I make a mistake. So when I turn it into something digital, I obviously go back and clean up all those lines. But this one was so hard. You can see just like there's all these lines that just went crazy because it's really hard to draw curved lines. You're not paying attention. Okay, this one, I wanted to try drawing mermaids because they are very flowy and mystical. But man, I had a hard time with the fin. I like how it turned out here, but before I just couldn't make it look natural. And then, not this hand was, I don't know why, but hands, wow, why is my thing jiggling so much? Sorry about that, my hand, yeah. Pretty much any artist will understand the difficulty of drawing hands, especially in an illustrated style. And I wanted to make her very sophisticated, which is why she has these bell sleeves and this nice jewelry. Here we have a house, and I'm surprised I didn't give this house more of a face, but you can kind of see it. Here's the eyes, and they're kind of like drooping, and then here's the mouth that's going, oh. But that's another thing that I liked to do when I was younger, is give houses faces. Okay, so this was a commission from Etsy, and they wanted a kawaii Pop-Tart, and as you will see later, I kind of got addicted to drawing kawaii. It was just really fun to do, to make the stuff seem so happy looking. It's so cute. And this took a long time with all the layering. The same person also asked for some chocolate strawberries, so this is really funny. They wanted me to do chocolate strawberries and also a page with chocolates, which you'll see. And I was so excited because I actually took a confectionery candy making class in college, and so I was so excited to draw the kind of chocolate work that I did in college. So that was really fun. And then this is the one with chocolates, like the truffles and the other kinds of chocolates. So this was really fun. This is another, they wanted some apple fairy houses and some pineapple fairy houses. And this was so fun to do all these little details with the little tiny snail. And then I created this table, and then the stubs become the seat. So that was really fun to do. And apples again. And here's the pineapple village, which was super fun. To kind of make it like Hawaiian / tiki / tropical themed with these tiki torches. Those were the last commission. So this next section is another coloring book that I started working on, and then I got distracted by other ideas, so I still haven't done all the illustrations for it, but eventually I will complete it. It will be jewel themed, and I had this idea in the shower or something like that. You know, all of my good ideas come when I'm standing in line at the grocery store, about to wake up, about to fall asleep, or when I'm in the shower. That's just how it goes. So, here is like some ruby or gemstone plants. So you can pick your gemstones. Here's a spider. And what's funny is I drew this, and then, what's her name? Hannah Carzon released a coloring book, and it had a jeweled spider. And I was like, what? So there's this jewel spider, which was really fun to do the abdomen. But man, I tolerate spiders, but looking at picture references was really hard. I will admit it right now. Then there was this spider. The dewdrops on the web are little diamond bead jewels. And obviously I had to do a lot of cleaning up on this one. And then here we have a king snake. So it's kind of that reference to how dragons hoard treasure. So the snake is hoarding treasure too. Yeah, this was really fun to do. And then we have this tree with jewel leaves, which I really liked that idea. So there's another tree, more wood, and then here, here we have a jewel snail. He's wandering among the jewels. And then we have a lantern and the flame. I guess you could color it an amber jewel. Ooh. But yeah, I really liked, I got this idea just randomly, like, oh, I need to do a lantern. And then other jewels. And then this is a mask. This was really, really hard to do because I wanted to make it symmetrical. Let's see, yeah, that was the right one. I wanted to make it symmetrical, but still like really detailed. So yeah, that's what I came up with. Oh, I love this one. The ladybug, the spots are jewels, and then the centers are the flowers. Okay, I love this one too. I like to have a good mix of, well, I like to draw both more simple and then more detailed, because it gives me a nice balance of not getting burnt out but also challenging myself. And I think this one turned out really cool. I loved drawing these flowers. They were so fun to draw. And then the bees, their wings are jewels as well. So that's all I have done so far for that book. I'm hoping to finish it soon. I just kind of got stuck idea-wise. This one is like mushrooms, and we have all these cool little lanterns hanging down. And I googled fairy garden accessories, and there's this cute wagon with this wooden wheel, and so I kind of did my own version of that with berries in it. And then this mushroom has like mushroom steps up to the door, which was really fun to come up with that idea. I love creating scenes like this where you just have to think of so many different little details. And then here's another little mushroom village. This one is a little bit more normal, I guess. With a watering can. Okay, so I've been really wanting to work on doing people, and I had this idea to do a female villain themed coloring book. So this was actually the last one that I drew for it, But this is the Snow Witch, Snow Queen, and I think it's, I mean, there's a Hans Christian Andersen story about it, but, yeah. So I really liked how she turned out. Then here we have the witch from Hansel and Gretel with all of this candy and sweets and delicious food. And she's a very sweet, nice looking person. That's one thing that I wanted to kind of show in this coloring book, was that the villains were all, you know, very approachable or attractive, in a sense. But she just looks like, kind of like Belle, but a little bit different, I guess. Here we have Jafar as a woman, and I had so much fun doing this one, with doing like the turban, and this staff was really fun to do. This one is one of my favorite pictures from the series. Here we have the evil stepmother on Cinderella, and I kind of wanted to do my own take on it, on the story. So the stepsisters are actually cats, which explains a lot if you think about it, like the shredding up of the dress and other stuff. So I thought that was kind of a fun take on it. And then here we have Captain Hook. And this one, she doesn't really look menacing, just more like, which, that's okay. So here we have Ursula, and she's like this awesome sea witch, and then here's the castle. It was really fun to do all of the legs for the octopus. And here's Maleficent, and this one was interesting because, you know, her headpiece covers her whole head, and I was kind of inspired by the African women who wear the turbans on their head. So I kind of used that for reference. And then we have the briars in the background. Here is Red Riding Hood, the Big Bad Wolf. This one was challenging because I was trying to draw her as a wolf, and she looked more like a cat and then like a dog. So I decided to go more like a, you know, Alaskan or a Native American with like the wolf headpiece instead. And she's sneaking through the woods. Okay, this one was really fun to do because one of my nicknames as a kid was Camilla DeVille. So this is Cruella DeVille. And I kind of took a more modern spin on it. So she's got her Dalmatian coat, and then she's standing against the wings of, you know, that are painted on a brick wall, which I thought was kind of an oxymoron to what her name was. And then here we have the Queen of Hearts, which is like, you know, got this kind of checker in the background, and then, wow, I just forgot the playing cards. Hearts, of course. Here is, no, she has an actual name, but I can't remember. She's just the queen from Snow White. Yeah. And I wanted to kind of portray her as a vain woman because, you know, that's kind of what the story paints her as. So that's what I tried to do. Then here we have a vampire. Scary. Woo! Here is Hades. This one was really fun to do because there was all the movement with fire and then these rocks, which I can't remember if I was just trying to make a background or if this is her throne. I think it's her throne, though. And then here is Witch Gothel, looking young because she's a witch. And then this is the Wicked Witch of the West, and I was inspired by how the poster for the musical is, she's like a little mischievous, so I kind of wanted to portray that as well in my own way. So that was it for that coloring book, and then here you will see a lot of kawaii food. So here's kawaii sushi. Oh, kawaii food just makes me so happy because it's this food that normally we would eat, but they look so happy to be eaten by you, you know? Here's vegetables, pineapple. Here's some chocolates. I love this one. How he's looking at the lips. Here's some onigiri. And this one this coloring book I actually just barely finished. And I'm still waiting for Amazon to send me my copies. It's been about a week since I ordered them. So hopefully they will get here soon because I have a normal size version and then a smaller size. Here's cotton candy. Oh, I'm so happy. Some potatoes. I just can't help but smile looking at these. Okay, here's spaghetti. This one was fun. I was really intimidated about drawing noodles because they're very, they have a lot of movement and a lot of individual pieces. So I decided to go the very stylized route. Okay, I love this idea that I got to do candy corn and then the candied apples. So cute. And they're all winking. Excuse me. Here are some muffins. So this is like a streusel muffin. It's like maybe apple streusel. And then chocolate chip or blueberry and poppy seed. And then we have peas and carrots. And this is bibimbap, which is a Korean dish that is, oh, so yummy. It's so good. Yeah. And it's funny because the day that I was looking at picture references for this one, my husband, we have a Korean restaurant like just down the street from us. And he said, hey, how will we get Korean? So I had bibimbap the day I drew bibimbap, which was so good. Then we have a soft pretzel and ketchup. There's a hot dog and then the condiments. And then we have drumsticks. Oh, this one's okay. This is so cute. Look at this. There's a hamburger and fries. Then here's some hot chocolate and a croissant. Man, if my hot chocolate looked that happy, I would drink hot chocolate in the summer. And then here's a pie. Cute pie. And popcorn. Macarons. Little eggs. I love this guy with the mustache. And then we have milk. And avocados. This cake was really fun to do. I feel like these don't need a lot of explanation because, well, you just gotta look at them because they're so cute. Oh, okay. This was so fun. So here's the boy fortune cookie, and he's like, hey, here's the girl fortune cookie, and she's, oh, heart, lovey-dovey. So cute. Okay. So this popsicle's having a good time. This popsicle is in shock, and this poor popsicle has got a headache. Then we have Tuxedo Strawberry, which was inspired by the other chocolate strawberries that I did. And then here we have some dumplings. Dumpling with a mustache. Oh, these lollipops are so cute. So yeah, drew lollipops, girl lollipop, and then the boys have little bow ties. And here's some pizza. And I just realized the pepperoni is not cut on that pizza, but that's okay because it would be too visually busy if it were. Okay, here's ramen, just your classic basic ramen with 2 eggs, or, you know, boiled like cut in half, I guess. And here we have some donuts. And this one was so tasty, I just had to take a bite. No, I can't remember, I think something smudged on there. I tore it off. Here's this, oops, like zebra marbled cake. Breakfast. Man, maybe more people would eat breakfast if it was this happy to see you in the morning. I wake up to eat breakfast. Okay, so here's a lemon. This is they're all happy. And then there's this one grumpy lemon. He's grumpy. Okay, I gotta go faster. Cupcake, watermelon, and I will have, the day that I get the coloring books, I will do a flip through that's a little bit more detailed, I guess. Sunday. Candy. This book is these pictures are so cute. There's Nutella. Fruit. Kebabs. Wedding cake. Sorry, I'm speeding up because I just realized this video's gone on for a long time and I still have over 50 pictures, or about 50 to show you. So I love this one. Ice cream. Oh, and you can't have a book about food without tacos. And then here's some crackers. And then like a montage. And this is the last picture that I did for the book, and I was so burnt out. I had no idea what one last thing I was going to draw that would not be white. Because a lot of food, I found out, is white. Or a shade of white. So I went in the kitchen, I was looking around, and nothing was really inspiring, and then I thought, oh hey, punt cake. And this actually is my husband's favorite one out of all the ones that I did. So that is a score, and it just is so cute. Okay, the last chunk are all, so this is a geometric design that I did to punch out stickers. So I scanned it and then printed it on sticker paper and then punched out stickers that you could color. But that never really took off. That's okay though. Maybe now that Johanna Basford has colorable tags. Okay, so I wanted to do this project for a long time, and that was to do all 50 states with like one of their themes that they have. And it was a huge undertaking. I did about 10 and then just kind of stopped because it felt overwhelming. And then one day I was like, you know what, I just need to finish it. And then I finished it in a week. So I wouldn't recommend drawing 40 plus and then editing 50 pictures. Yeah, so this is Utah. This is the first one I did. And it's the Beehive State. That's where I'm from, so that's why I did it first. And then we have Texas, which is known for longhorns and rodeos. And of course you have to have a quilt. And then this is the state plant, is this cactus. And then lizards, because Arizona has lots of lizards. And then California with the California poppies. Oh, also I put a star where in the general area where the capital city is. Here is Alabama, which is the heart of Dixie. And then we have Idaho, which I lived in for 6 or 7 years. So the next longest place I've lived. And it is the gem state, so that's why there's all of these jewels. And then here is Arkansas. One of the state mineral is quartz. And then Alaska, obviously trout. Here we have Colorado with the Rocky Mountains, and then the flower. I can't remember all the official names right now. It's like late for me. Here is Connecticut. That's the sperm whale. And then this is Delaware. Their plant is strawberries, and I think their bug is the ladybug. So had to have ladybugs and strawberries. And then Florida. You can't think of Florida without thinking of oranges. So that was an easy one. And then Georgia. Also, you can't think of Georgia without thinking of peaches. So peaches. And then these are spotted turtles for Illinois. This is Indiana, and it is a peony flower. This took so much research because I wanted to have something unique for every picture. Hard things artists do to their brains. So this is Kansas, the sunflower state, and then Kentucky. I'm guessing on this right now. Yep, Kentucky for blackberries. And then Mississippi is a magnolia tree. But Louisiana also was magnolia for their flower. So those were the only two that had a repeat, but I drew them completely differently. And then blue crab for Maryland. And Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts was a cod snake. And I think this one turned out really cool. I didn't want the whole thing to be plants or animals, so I tried to incorporate other things like food. So Missouri, their state food is ice cream. How awesome is that? Ice cream. And then acorn bur oak for Iowa. And this is bitterroot, which is like a purpley flower. Montana. This is Tennessee, and these are coneflowers. And then this Maine. Wow, maybe this was really good because now I know my geography a little bit better. Maine, they're known for their clams. And then this, Minnesota, apples. So there you go again, apples. And then, oh, this is the wrong way. New Hampshire, I did pumpkin. That's one of their state foods or something. And then the apple blossom for Michigan. And North Dakota is some wild prairie rose. This is a really pretty delicate flower. And then this is Virginia, right? Is a swallowtail butterfly, which in Arkansas I've seen quite a few of these, and they're really big and really pretty. And then we have Washington, which is their animal is the orca or killer whale. Okay, this one was fun. This was the bighorn sheep for Nevada. And then here's just the whole United States with the Statue of Liberty, because I feel like that was very much that was one of the main icons for the US. And then here we have flowers for West Virginia, corn for Nebraska, Rhode Island, their sport or something is boating, and so there's an anchor, and it's very nautical themed. And then Hawaii, here's the outline of the islands, and then surfing is their sport, and then this is their flower, which is hibiscus. And then this is Wyoming. They're known for Tetons and Indian paintbrush, which, yes, Indian paintbrush is cool. And then Oklahoma is the land of the Native American, so that's why it's very Native American themed. And then Vermont is this clover flower, and then this is supposed to be marble. I don't know if it really translates as that. And then the blueberry for New Jersey. Ohio is Buckeye. So Buckeye is a chestnut. And then Wisconsin. Is this Wisconsin? Yeah, Wisconsin is cheese. The cheese state, the dairy state. And I heard that they're trying to change their name, but I don't know if that was successful or not. And New Mexico, their state plant is yucca, and then they have a lot of just very Aztec, Navajo people there, or vibe, yeah. And then Pennsylvania, their food is a chocolate chip cookie. They have it right. So here's cookies and milk. And Oregon, their shell is the Triton shell. New York, their state flower is the rose, which is very romantic. This one was so hard. I was like, I don't want to do another fish. This is North Carolina, and it is a red drum. But if you're in a place where you're near water, fishing is big. And South Dakota, their tree is the spruce. And I tried to do it so you could color it Christmassy, but you didn't have to, you know. And then South Carolina is their plant is the palm, and this is actually reminiscent of their design on their license plates and stuff, or their flag too. It's the moon, crescent moon, and then the palm tree. Anyways, thanks so much for watching that long flip through of my sketchbook that I completed. I never thought that would ever happen, that I would finish a sketchbook, but it did. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video or inspired to go draw something cute or cool, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time.